Hello, everybody. It is now time for the Michigan Sports Report, episode 9. So, I got to start off with the leading story in this video. Normally, I start with college basketball and then we work into college hockey and whatnot, but we got to start with the Detroit Lions and their first loss in however many 11, 12 games. It's their first loss in a long time to the Buffalo Bills. The Lions are now 12-2. And a scrum for an onside kick that was recovered by Buffalo ended this game with 12 seconds left. This was a game in which Detroit got some guys back on defense, but then lost some guys again. In this game, Detroit couldn't stop Josh Allen, who had 68 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, along with 23 of 34 passing for 362 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. 4 touchdowns total for Josh Allen. Buffalo had a 2-touchdown lead in the first quarter after Detroit had 2 3-and-outs to start this game. And Detroit couldn't quite make up the slow start. Detroit was down 21 late in the third quarter. They missed a field goal. They missed 2 onside kicks and still got this game within 6 points at the end. 48-42. It was the highest scoring game in the NFL this season because Goff had 38 of 59 passing, 494 yards, and 5 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Detroit had a shot in this game to make it up. We couldn't really get the ground game going. We were down too much late in this game, but Gibbs was great. Montgomery showed his grit when he got the ball, but it was soft coverage, though, on Buffalo's part because they had the lead throughout the game. But St. Brown had 14 catches for 193 yards and a touchdown. And Sam Laporta showed up on the scene, 7 catches for 111 yards. So it was an epic comeback for Detroit, but too little and too late in this game. They dug themselves too big of a hole with the defense that they have right now early in that game. So they're 12-2. And up next for Detroit is at Chicago at the Bears on Sunday at 1 p.m. So hopefully get right versus the Bears and Caleb Williams. And hopefully people can get healthy going forward for this Detroit team because they're getting really thin on the defense. All right, now let's move to college sports and college basketball. Well, we're going to go college football first because Michigan State is waiting for next year as they finished 5-7 for this season, so nothing really to talk about there. And Michigan is waiting for number 11 Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl for a rematch of last year's postseason between these two. That game is on New Year's Eve at noon, so there you go. College basketball. Number 14 Michigan lost to Arkansas back on Tuesday. They are 8-2 now. They lost by 2 points, 89-87. I did a video on this game, so you can go check that out. I'll put it in the card for you. But turnovers, rebounds, and missed free throws were a factor again for this Michigan team. They had a shot to win this game at the end, but Michigan called a timeout with 3.7 seconds left. Instead of going with the flow, Michigan stormed all the way back. I thought maybe we could have got a better shot in real time instead of inbounding it and in 3.7 seconds and trying to get a shot off. Not only that, after the timeout, Michigan didn't get the ball to Danny Wolf, who was Michigan's best playmaker down the stretch, making great decisions. Passes, taking it to to the rim. And the game-tying shot was contested, and it hit off the front of the rim. So Danny Wolf, though, finished this game with 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. It seemed like when he knew the guards weren't going to step up in this game, he took it on his own shoulders, and damn, he almost did it. Vlad Golden, though, had 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks in that game. So the pick and roll between those two 7-footers is nasty. And that is going to be a staple going forward, I believe, for this team. Guards need to step up for Michigan. Up next is number 13, Oklahoma, in the Jumpman Invitational in Charlotte, North Carolina on Wednesday. And then we have Purdue Fort Wayne on Sunday. And then we talk about Sparty in college basketball. Got to 8-2. They had the whole week off the past week. They have at Oakland on Tuesday and then FAU on Saturday this upcoming week. So they are number 21 right now. In college hockey, number 8, Michigan split the series versus Wisconsin this past week. They are now 11-6-1 on the season. They lost 4-0 on Friday, and then they won in overtime 3-2 on Saturday. Michael Haig had another game winner again this season. He seems to be doing that quite a bit, but we need to not get into that position as much. Mullen, Rumi, and Garrett Shifsky also scored in that second game this past weekend. Up next for Michigan hockey, they have a 2-week break now before a game versus Ohio State at Wrigley Field in Illinois on January 3rd. So that should be interesting, something to look forward to. Now, number 3, Michigan State in college hockey did great at number 1 Minnesota this past weekend. They are 13-2-1 now on the season. They tied Minnesota 3-3 in the first game and then a 5-3 win in the second game. 8 different players for Michigan State scored a goal versus Minnesota this weekend. That's unheard of. That's crazy. They have depth. They're ready to go. They're ready to win the whole thing, in my opinion. Up next is a week off for them before they have the Great Lakes Invitational. And in Game 1, it will be Sunday the 29th versus Northern Michigan. Game 2 will be Monday the 30th versus Michigan Tech or Western Michigan. So that's what's coming up for Michigan State hockey. All right. Now we got to talk about the disappointing professional programs in the state. Pistons are 10-16. On Thursday, Detroit lost to Boston 123-99, and that was the only game that the Pistons played last week. Up next for them, they have 3 games. Miami on Monday, Utah on Thursday, and then they're at Phoenix on Saturday. So this 10th place team needs to win some of these games coming up to get back into the mix. The Detroit Red Wings are now 12-14-4. 28 points is 6th in the Atlantic Division. They beat the Sabres 6-5 on Monday. They lost to the Flyers 4-1 on Thursday, but they beat an 18-win Maple Leafs team on Saturday 4-2. So that is something to look forward to this next week. So there you go, the Michigan Sports Report. What are you most excited about or disappointed about from this past week? Let me know in the comments below. Was it Detroit? Was it the Detroit Lions? I think that was the most disappointing for me. Uh, the fact that they have the firepower, they could have won that game. It was the slow start that cost them. So even versus Superman in Josh Allen. So there you go. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Like the video, please. Share with other people on social media to help the channel, or through word of mouth. You can do that too. Hey, there's this dependent fanatic guy that talks about Michigan athletics on YouTube. Go check him out. um, subscribe, please. I'm glad, 323 subscribers right now. I thank each and every one of you. And it's been a great ride. It's a hobby of mine, and I hope to continue to do it in the future, which, by the way, go check out all the other videos I've done. I've done previews for college football playoff games, 3 of them so far. I got 1 more to go for the first round. So stay tuned for the SMU Penn State preview coming up. So thank you, everybody. And then this Michigan Sports Report is every Sunday or Monday, depending on how late the games of these teams are played. If there's one on Sunday night, it probably won't be until Monday when this is posted. So there you go. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day out there. And go blue.